I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about how this whole journey started with me going to Australia. In 2013, I was fairly new to Los Angeles. I didn't know where to go, where the clubs were, the people to meet, all of this. One of my friends said, hey, you should try this one club in Hollywood. It's called Supper Club. He said, it's great because the women come from the ceiling, bringing champagne to the audience. I said, get out of here. This sounds like some Hollywood stuff, but I'll go. I was in line, and I was like, thinking, I just really hope it's not $30 or more to get in this club because I only have $50 that I want to spend. I already paid $10 for parking. I'm thinking of all this stuff in my head. And then behind me, I heard this accent. I said, wait a minute, where are they from? These two people, there's a guy and a girl. I turned around because I'm just a nice person. I said, excuse me, where you guys from? And the guy said, we're from Australia, mate. I said, oh, Australia. Oh, how was that? Started talking in line. We get all the way inside, we have drinks, we're having a great time, we're exchanging Facebook information, all this great stuff. Year later, we're still friends. And they said, you really should come to the Gold Coast and come to Sydney. Gold Coast, okay. It's in Australia, I don't care where it is, I'll go. So I did the hardest thing that I ever did in life was pay a ticket, a flight, round trip flight to Australia. The amount doesn't matter, but the 15-hour flight was worth it all because I slept for 10 hours. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. Tonight, I will discuss the adventures of Australia. I will first talk about the people that I met. I will also talk about the sights that I saw in Australia, the attractions, the beauty of Australia. And lastly, I will talk about the culture and the history that I learned about Australia. When I got off the plane in the Gold Coast, I had to fly into Sydney first, then into the Gold Coast. This guy had my name written as Joshua. I said, oh, that's nice. Felt like I was royalty. So I asked him, he said, good day, mate. Oh, okay, this is cool. So as I got to the house, it was actually an Airbnb home, and the people, it was Christmas Day. The host of the home was lovely. She cooked for me. My bed was clean. I met her daughter and her son-in-law to be. It was just phenomenal. Everyone was just so friendly and so outgoing. When I went to Sydney, I was actually in Sydney by myself. Because I was in the Gold Coast for a few days and then Sydney. When I got to Sydney, I didn't know where to go. I just knew I wanted seafood. I love crab legs. Anybody that know me, I'm from the South, I love seafood, love shrimp, crab legs. So when I was sitting there by myself, I overheard a conversation with a lady walking in talking about LA. So I started just talking with her randomly about it. But behind me, there was this lady, she doesn't know me. She's with her boyfriend sitting down eating lunch just like I was eating lunch by myself. She grabbed a chair, sat next to me, and said, hi, where are you from? I'm from America. She was like, okay, what part? California, because I'm like, well, I don't know if you know what area, if you've been. She was like, oh, I'm well-traveled, I love California, et cetera, et cetera. I said, okay, great. Next thing you know, on New Year's Day, we kept in contact, me, her, and I kept in contact with her boyfriend as well through Facebook. New Year's Day, or a few days after that, after I met them, they said, you know what, we really want to get out. We want to go out and just show you around the town. Now mind you, I don't know these people. And growing up in the South and growing up in the United States of America, we're just not as friendly as we would like or hope to be. So with that being said, I spent the entire day with them. Went to this place called Cockatoo Island. Beautiful island. They had drinks, they had music. It was just amazing. It was right by the beach as well, so you can just kind of like just get off and just kind of just go on the beach, lay in the sand. It was beautiful. And it was just something about that just with the people, it just really touched my heart, how people can just open their heart and their homes to you and not even know you. The next thing that I would like to talk about are the sights of Sydney. There will be times, and I like to travel alone if I can. It doesn't always happen that way. But this is my very first international trip alone. And one thing I enjoyed was waking up at 4 in the morning just to go out and see the sunrise. And just to see the rocks, the beauty in the waters, just so majestically, just how it looks, so beautiful. The architecture of the buildings, phenomenal. The Opera House, which people may not know, but they got architects all over the world. And what I've learned is that in a lot of cities that are like those staple cities, like Paris, London, they all have something that sticks out that architects build. And in Sydney, it's the Opera House. And it looks beautiful and magnificent at night. You have the Opera Bar that's right, it's a lower level down beneath the Opera House. You have the different attractions, of course, the kangaroos. I did see a kangaroo, which was amazing, and I saw the joey, and all of that was, it was cool. I actually got them hopping around on an Instagram video, so I'll definitely send out my Instagram. The last thing I would like to discuss is learning about the history of Australia, learning about the native Australians, the Aboriginals. And what I did was, I actually went to a museum. And at the museum, I got an actual artwork by someone that was actually an Aboriginal, a native Australian, to Australia. And they do a lot of artwork, a lot of art pieces. And I'm actually going to pass that around. But it was from a native Australian. And just learning about the history of where they came from, the kids in the detention camps, it was quite sad, but it still brought like just light to Australia and where they came from and where they are. And they still pay homage to a lot of the native Australians. In conclusion, what I would like to say is that being happy, being nice, being an extrovert, not everyone has that in them, but it does go a long way if you do just make friends, because just with that one turn around in the line and say, where are you from? I embarked on an adventure of Australia, an adventure that I'll never forget.